Hello. Hi, everyone. Amy from AMPO here. I hope that you are having a fantastic week. Here at AMPO, we have been coming up alongside you every week to talk to you about annual giving. We have been really digging in to how to create a strategic annual giving program. And so one of the things that we're doing right now is we are talking about how you can create a strategic annual giving prospect portfolio. So we have created that portfolio by looking at our list and identifying our top lifetime annual givers. And then we've been talking about the importance of engaging with them in a really rich, meaningful way. And we talked about how you do this with purposeful conversation. And so this week we're going to talk about listening and what role listening plays in a purposeful conversation. And so with that purposeful conversation, you know you want to go in and you want to learn from that prospect. You really want to learn about their why. You want to understand why they've been giving to your organization. With all of the organizations in the community, why have they chosen you? And this is where listening comes in. And it's not listening to respond. It's not listening to share more statistics or share more, but it's listening to learn. And it's listening to learn in a really deep, meaningful way so that you can start to show the connection that you have with the donor. And so one of the things that really plays into this is the idea of silence. I don't know how many of you enjoy silence. I'm going to speak for myself here and say that silence isn't my favorite thing. And so I have to be very thoughtful when I'm going out to have a purposeful conversation with someone to make sure that I am recognizing that need for silence and how with silence becomes a greater, deeper, richer conversation. When there is silence, that gives both you and the person that you're communicating with time to reflect in real time. It gives you a chance to really be able to connect the new information that you're processing to other information that you might know, or to a broader, more philosophical, the strategic themes of your organization. And so that silence is really critical. It actually really helps helped you to engage with people in a deeper way. Okay, I'm gonna look at my notes quick. Okay, so one of the ways that you need to do this is you need to make sure that you're eliminating distractions. So just make sure that when you're going to have these deep conversations, these conversations with a purpose with people that you're meeting, actually the worst place to have them is a restaurant. And the reason why I say that is because inevitably that moment when you're really starting to get into a deeper level is the exact moment when someone is going to come and clear a plate, when someone's going to come and ask if you need anything else, refill your beverages, whatever that is. And so you really want to make sure that this is happening in a place where there's no distractions. Coffee shops are better than restaurants because there's not someone who's coming and interacting with you during the course of that piece, but coffee shops are loud. There is a lot of noise there. And so you want to make sure that you're going to be able to hear everything, because again, at that critical moment when someone is really delving into their why, you don't want that to be the moment that they start grinding more coffee beans and that you just missed it. And you just absolutely missed that information, and that's the information that you were there to gather. So what I would suggest is, if you have the possibility to do this, invite them to your space. Invite them into the organization and find a quiet spot where maybe you can observe mission delivery. So if you're working with a program where there's activity going on, maybe there's a quiet nook where you can see people coming and going, or maybe you can observe therapy that, the physical therapy that's taking place, or whatever that is, so that you can have a touch of the mission, but that you're not going to be distracted, so that you can actually really have this really deep, purposeful conversation. So that's what I've got this week, is that we're talking about listening. We're talking about how you're listening to understand, not listening to respond, and how you want to eliminate distraction. So I hope that this has been helpful. Let me know, drop me a note, reach out. I would love to hear from you and hear how your program is going. And I look forward to sharing more with you next week. Have a great week, everyone.